as we were driving up the street, I would put my hand on Donatus's knee and say, "Can we start again?" And take some deep breaths.
Stop. Because what you said is so important in working with couples. To stop and start anew.
Yes.
And Jerry, we also have a restart button. We say, can we please restart the day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This day has gone to such crap, we really need to
Can we start
it over
again? Can we start again?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know, as you're talking, these principles of attitudinal healing that you spoke about, and Jerry, when you said we don't use words, we made a pact not to use words to hurt each other.
As weapons.
Yes,
Weapons.
we notice that in working with couples, the first thing we do is exactly that thing. Could you tell each other what you love and appreciate about each other? And the second thing is we make a pact that we'll cut all criticism, because criticism hurts. It's another version. And what I've found with attitudinal healing, that even though some people might think that sort of spiritual stuff, it's now come into the mainstream, and what you're talking about is now being trained, without using the word attitudinal healing, but as effective therapy for couples. And I like the thought that what you guys introduced so many years ago is now part of mainstream as called good therapy, good couples therapy, good healing.
Yes. You know, I'd like Jerry and I to, you asked us before what we do when we get into conflict, and you know, Jerry, one of the main things that we do, I'd like to share, and that is asking each other for help. We have a phrase that we committed to a long time ago, and it is that when we say to the other person, "I need your help," those 4 words, everything else, you click off, you go into this channel, and you tune into the other person, because what they're saying, and we used to say this out loud just to keep clarifying. If I say, "Jerry, I need your help," the unspoken part, and again in the beginning it's really helpful. This is in Love is the Answer, our book. The unspoken part is, I'm really upset. My ego says it's you that's making me upset. I know that I am responsible for my own upset, and I'm asking your help. Are you in a place to just listen? I'm not asking you to change or correct or do a comment. I'm just asking, are you in a place to listen so that I can express how I feel? And we often say a lot of that out loud, and the other person will say, if you know exactly what they're upset about, you might say, "Oh, this is a little hot, I don't want to do it now." But you have to say, "Okay, in 2 hours, let's come back again." It has to be that day.
Yeah.
And but say you do it then, which we usually do. There is an energy that is created because there's something about stopping and actually, number one, being heard. But saying it without blame, saying that out loud. "Look, Jerry, I know I'm responsible for my own feelings. I know you aren't capable of making me upset unless I want to be. And this is what's going on for me right now." What happens is, if you don't do that, you're in, we both have little secret lawyers in us, Jerry and I. You're starting to get your brief ready on why you were wrong and didn't hear or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Or you repeat the same things. But if I'm saying I need help, or Jerry's saying he needs help, then the first thing I do is I sit back and I listen, because I know he's not asking me to change.
Yeah.
I know he's not attacking me, because he's responsible for his own thing, and maybe I can hear something, and invariably I do.
I'd like to add another thing in working with couples. It's essential that the people who are acting as therapists have an equal relationship.
Yes.
If it's a co-therapist.
Because if it's not equal, it gets out over line and it doesn't work.
What you're demonstrating is not the most helpful thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah, we don't have a senior or a junior one. Even in the days where I wasn't a therapist at all, and Jerry was a renowned psychiatrist, we still had that. We just created it together, and that's what helped us both grow so much.
Equality is really important.
Yes.
It doesn't work. The other thing is Diane and I find that the reason we're there is not only to be helpful to other people, but to be helpful to ourselves.
To heal ourselves.
We're there for therapy of our own. You teach what you want to learn.
Yeah.
You teach what you want to learn.
That's
I think
true.
that's an essential way.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, it's important that that we find out, of course, what the goal of the couple is. What is it that you want, and is there anything similar about your goals? And that we're here to help facilitate you finding those goals, but we're not going to set goals for you for ourselves. We're not going to do what we think is best for you. We are going to help you work through what it is that you need to do in order to get where you want to go.
Well, I'll put it a little differently. We're here to help you rediscover the love that was there
Exactly.
that may have disappeared.
And the honesty, hopefully, and integrity within the relationship. So the most important thing that we do together, and that we try to facilitate with others, individually or collectively, is to create a safe environment.
Yes.
Because people are only dishonest when they're fearful, and so that in order to create an environment where love can begin to blossom, where love can heal and forgiveness can heal, people must be unafraid. And that means that we don't side with anybody. We're really there to support both of them.
So imagine that we're there, Jerry and Diane, and all of a sudden I'm saying something that Diane's inner voice is saying, "Oh my God, how could he be saying this?"
That happened on the stage in the early years.
You know?
You want to tell them what I did?
Go ahead.
When we were like our 4th or 5th lecture, and Jerry is so open, he's talking about some really personal thing, and I'm sitting there smiling at the audience and thinking, I can't believe he's telling them that. Oh my God, my mind goes into critical. And then I stopped and I went, oh my God, because we don't have a script. Oh my God, if I stay here, I'm never going to be able to tune into what I need to think, say, and do. So what do? And in my mind, we have a picture of this in our book. In my mind, I quickly write out on a piece of paper all the criticism I have of Jerry, boom, 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 and then I take the piece of paper and I tear it up tear up my script for Jerry, and I put it in the garbage pail. And at that point, he just kind of turned to me, and then we went on. But that's what we do. We tear up our script for each other, and that's how it started. By sheer terror on the stage.
So I think that's an important goal for the therapist to have, is don't have a script.
Yeah, where you think a couple should go or be.
Yeah.
Then you can listen, right, Jerry? That leaves room to
Your
be able to
job is
listen.
not to save a marriage or save a relationship.
The job is to listen
To
And to
listen
witness,
and give love.
and to
listen.
witness who they really are.
and listen with love.
And help them see who they really are when they don't see it themselves.
Most people are not very good listeners. They want to interrupt the other person or what have you.
Yeah.
And we've learned to listen with love and not interrupt the other person.
And when we do, we ask the other person, which we kind of do a corrective measure, not nastily, but hopefully that I wasn't complete or whatever. And I'd love to know how you both work with couples too.
Well, it's interesting, everything you're saying, without using the word attitudinal healing, has gone into the mainstream. The first thing we do when a couple come in and say, we're here to listen to what you want and to help you get what you want. And then our job is to make it safe enough for you guys to speak and to be heard. And then we teach them how to listen through mirroring, because people don't know how to listen. But it's just interesting how the principles, say it again, the principles of attitudinal healing are taken into mainstream psychotherapy, and these principles are now validated as part of healing.
I mean,
I need to interrupt for a moment
yeah.
and make sure that everyone knows that I'm going to be 95 in February, and 95 years of that age frequently have to go to the bathroom. And I have to go to the bathroom right now.
This is the time.
I think
This is the end of part 1.
I think it's a good time.